welcome back to Soaring Soul. Today's Oracle card reading is a pick a card reading. So I will shortly reveal the cards and you pick the one that you feel most drawn to, and that will be your pile number for the readings. I'll then also add crystals because some of us prefer to be drawn to the energy of a crystal or for it to just help us in our decision-making process. So pile number 1 is priorities, building blocks for life. Pile number 2 is signs from Spirit with love. Pile number 3 is orange, connection and attunement. I will add the crystals now if you need some help in making your decision. So pile number 1, this is your crystal. Pile number 2, this is your crystal. And pile number 3, here is your crystal. So take a moment to decide which pile or piles, you can always choose more than one, resonates with you or you feel drawn to. Hi, pile number 1. You chose priorities, building blocks for life, and this beautiful crystal. So I'm going to shuffle and draw your cards now. So we'll start with our tea leaves. Oh, I really want this one, if I can get it. We'll take 1, 2, 3. Well, these 3 want to come. 4, 5, and 6. And then our Moonology cards. Let's see what comes out. Oh, hello. So that one definitely wants to come. I'm feeling this one. Ooh, and this one. Yeah, okay. These are our Psychic Tarot. Let's see what comes out. Ooh, these. That one. I feel like I need to take a couple more from here. No, that's it. One more. And our Work Your Light Oracles, some of my favorite cards at the moment. Although to be fair, all the cards I use are my favorite at the moment. That's why I'm using them. I feel too. Okay, so let's see what we've got. So we'll start with our tea leaves. We've got Kite, Vacation, the month of April, Marriage, Weeping Willow, with Family Sorrow, Barrel, you feel something is lacking in your life, perhaps love, money, or goals. And let's move this up. Egg, success assured with good plans and hard work. Okay, let's have a look at what our Moonology cards have to say. Step out of your comfort zone. Conclusions are within reach. And nothing is set in stone. I'm going to have a little shuffle, move these down here. See if we can't fit them all in. Conclusions are within reach. Okay, let's have a look at our oracle cards. The light is the new black. These I tend to work off real intuition with the imagery, so we won't read them out yet, and we'll move on to our Psychic Tarot. Disruption, material harvest, positive movement forward, and shadow. Okay, how are they fitting in? Yeah, good. We've got room down here if we decide to pull something else for some clarity as we move in through the reading. Okay, so let's feel into this. I feel like I'm drawn to the family sorrow. And I feel like this is something that has already happened. So something that you are working through. Remember, this is a reading for the many. It feels sorrow, of course. It's definitely a loss of something, but not necessarily the death of a person. I definitely feel for some of you, we've got the loss of a pregnancy. And yes, many of you will be processing a death within the family. I also feel like this is, for some of you, somebody moving away to far-flung lands and the grieving process that has to come with that. In any event, I see vacation, or holiday, as we like to call it in my neck of the world. Obviously it's January. Well, this reading is happening in January when certainly in Ireland, we all tend to look towards our holidays, what we're going to do. We're looking at booking our holidays. If we haven't booked them, we're thinking about them, so on and so forth. So it's kind of obvious that would come up for some of you, or come up for many of us, that would come up in a reading that I'm doing at this time of the year. But I do feel it's relevant to the family sorrow, because I feel like you need a change in perspective in how you are processing, looking, dealing with this. You're weary. I feel like you're weary in trying to deal with it. So it feels very relevant that you need to find an opportunity for you to be able to step out of your everyday life. It doesn't have to be 2 weeks in the sun or a month abroad. It can be a night away. It can be just a shift in perspective. Take yourself out of your environment, your humdrum, just to take a breath and to give yourself time to gain a fresh perspective in dealing with this sorrow and this loss. It's become so weaved into your everyday life that you're finding it really difficult to really move on from it and let it go. So I think it's important that you take some time. Like I said, it doesn't have to be a huge amount of time to check out. If you haven't been out with your friends in a while, it's very much a family issue. If you haven't been out with your friends in a while, if that's all you can manage and all you can get is a couple of hours with your friends for a tea or a night out, whatever it is, but I definitely feel like you need to extrapolate yourself from whatever has gone on within your family. For some of you, it's just going to be a really difficult situation, even a child moving through adolescence, and we feel like we're losing them. But it's very relevant to a lot of people. I was drawn there to this one immediately. And we just need a break and a shift in perspective. Marriage, April. You feel something is lacking in your life, perhaps love, money, or goals. And success is assured with plans and hard work. For some people, there's something lacking in the marriage. If you're married or in a long-term relationship, things have perhaps gone a tiny bit lackluster. The word, I don't want to say stale, but a little bit lackluster. And you feel like something is missing in your marriage. And again, I find it no coincidence that the vacation has come out on top here. Has ended up being reshuffled unintentionally or unconsciously, and vacation has ended up on the top because, again, it's a shift in perspective that's needed. It's just take a moment and step out of the humdrum. You've fallen into a routine. You've fallen into a pattern. And in a lot of ways, the excitement, and of course, excitement doesn't last forever in a relationship. It's for the early days, and things do settle and become a little bit more normal, run-of-the-mill, mundane, whatever way you want to put it. No, mundane's a bit negative, but you get what I'm saying. Sometimes we need to just take some time together away from all the commitments. So again, out, even if it's just out of the house, away from the family for a couple of hours, just you and him or her, and make the rule that, or they, and make the rule that we're not going to talk about the routine. We're not going to. And that might be a little bit uncomfortable initially, because what we automatically do is fall into talking about, guilty myself, talking about the children and what's going on in the house and so on and so forth. Let's step away from that. Let's remember a time back in the early days when life in the world was exciting, and you talked about topics other than what was happening inside the four walls of the home that you live in, and a little bit of a visit back to that. So yes, if you can get a vacation, great. If you can get away on a holiday together, fabulous. I think it is so healing for any relationship when you can take time away together, just the two of you. I think it's incredibly healing. But if you can't manage that, even if it's just out of the house for a few hours, and make a promise to yourselves that you're not just going to talk about what's happening back in the house and the people therein. And success is assured with good plans and hard work, and April. So these two feel linked to me. These two feel linked. There's something that you have been willing into your life, willing into existence. It will be different for a lot of you. There's something that you are working towards. I actually feel for some of you, it's going to be that long-term relationship that you're trying to draw into your life. I feel there's a connection for some of you in these three cards. Remember, this is a reading for the collective, a lot of people. So sometimes the energies match together slightly differently for different sets. But, for many of you, this is all interconnected. And then for some of you, these three cards. So whatever message it is that resonates with you is the message that you need to focus on. April is significant. I think you'll start moving in a really positive direction toward what it is you're wishing into your life in April. Absolutely. I've just spotted that stepping out of your comfort zone is right next to the vacation. And it's so relevant. So relevant. Because it does, particularly in terms of a marriage, it does take us out of our comfort zone to say, okay, we're not going to talk about X, Y, and Z, and we're just going to try and go back to just have a conversation that doesn't involve the daily humdrum. That can be a nervy thing. That can take us out of our comfort zone because we're so used to just talking about the mundane. Equally, whatever way you've been dealing with this sorrow within your family, you've become used to. It's a comfort. A comfort that's not necessarily healthy to be dwelling or living in this. So it's so relevant that that fell next to the kite, because I think, and the holiday there, the message that the kite brings, because you probably can't see the kite word, very, very interesting that they're beside each other and so relevant. Nothing is yet set in stone. So your mindset is, so I was reminded of this recently, and your mindset is so important. So it's one of the most important aspects of you, is the mindset that you choose to have, because it completely changes any situation. The situation itself practically may not have changed in the slightest, but the minute you shift your intention and decide to look at it in a different way, that's when things begin to flow, things begin to shift. It's all in your power. Nothing is set in stone with what's happening with these relationships. Nothing's set in stone with what is happening with this, sorrow that you've gone through. There's nothing that you can't change. It's not set in stone. Take the action that you need to take and consider your mindset. Really strongly consider your mindset. Are you going to carry on looking at things the way you've been looking at them, saying, oh, well, sure look, haven't we been married for 10 years, or haven't we been together for 7 years or 15 years, and the kids, that overtakes everything. Sure, it's normal that, things are a little bit kind of stagnant. And it's normal in that it happens to huge amounts of couples. Yes, but it doesn't mean that's the way that things have to stay. And it certainly doesn't mean necessarily the demise of the relationship, but nothing is set in stone. So be mindful of that. Whatever we've just talked about can be altered. And conclusions are within reach. So again, everything can be wrapped up. Let's have a look. Conclusions are within reach. This feels quite actually related to this, whatever it is you've been trying to draw into your life. I actually don't feel this is necessarily linked to all these, whatever you've been trying to draw into your life. And I also feel this is leading us into the next set of cards. So let's see how these connect. So, disruption and the shadow work. And indeed, a lot of what needs to happen in these situations is the shadow work, which in turn causes disruption in our lives. But the shadow work is going into something that feels difficult, feels heavy, feels dark, whatever it is, going into things, emotions, looking at sets of events, whatever that makes us feel really uncomfortable, that isn't, and again, actually, where was it? Something about your comfort zone there. Step out of your comfort zone. That's where shadow work takes you. Shadow work is not easy. It's difficult to do, and it's looking into ourselves. So, what role are we playing in these situations? So it's not necessarily always looking out and laying the blame for things that don't feel entirely positive at the feet of others. How are we contributing to it? And we usually nearly always are in some way as well. And that's not a blame thing. That's not about being hard on ourselves. That's just about, it's just the way it is. None of us move through life perfect and blameless in every way. So moving into the shadow work, and that will start to kind of dissolve, help you, I think, inform how you're going to approach these situations, how you're going to resolve them, how you are going to make these situations better for you. Material harvest and positive movement forward. So again, definitely, I feel like there will be a positive shift forward. Take the messages that are coming from the cards. I think if we do nothing, we'll just stay in the stagnant energy or the sorrow that we've been feeling. Okay, without question, I think it might morph slightly, but I do think on the whole we won't feel a great leap forward. I think if we take the messages that the cards are giving us, that there will definitely be a positive shift forward. And this card relates to all of these situations, including this, whatever it is you've been trying to bring in. There's a material harvest that's going to come with that, where this shift is going to happen around April time. There is rewards coming from that. I don't necessarily, feel like with money coming in, maybe if it's a business that you're looking to set up, yeah, you'll start seeing some good financial results, or definitely a financial move into a positive direction around April time. But you're trying to manifest in something else that's material in itself. I definitely feel like that is on the cards for you. I definitely feel like it's on the cards for you. But again, it all comes down to mindset too. Mindset is relevant to everything that we read. If we move up to our... So what I'm feeling here with this card is this is where you've been. I don't know if you can see it because, like I said, from these I very much work from the imagery. Can you see that? Hang on now. This is where you've been. Feeling like you're stuck here. Feeling kind of helpless. Sitting, gazing out into the great abyss, wondering when things are going to get better for you. And I feel like that's where you've been. That's where you've spent some time lately. That's where you actually are now. Feeling a little bit helpless in the situation. But, and here I'm drawn to the words, warrior woman or man, whatever it is. This is your actual power in the situation. In all of these situations, this is your power. This is not your natural state. This is this strength, this warrior energy. This says warrior woman. It's warrior woman, warrior man. Just warrior. Let's cover the woman. Warrior. This is your strength in this situation. So in order to resolve these and indeed begin to shift the energy in your life, that whatever it is you've been trying to draw into your life starts moving towards you with a greater pace, you need to pick up your sword. And I don't mean in a battle negative kind of way. Cut the cords of what isn't serving you. Cut the cords of negative emotions or victim mentality or just accepting things as they are, even if it's not what you want to be. Cut all those cords. Pick up your sword. Get moving. Shift your mindset and watch it all begin to flow towards you. There's this, this positive movement forward, this little boat here sailing off into the sunset. This is within reach for you. This is absolutely within reach for you, but it won't just land in your lap. Very clear message from the cards here is that you need to take action. You need to step out of your comfort zone. You need to do your shadow work. Look at yourself. Look at how you're critically. You don't have to share that with anybody else. You don't have to say, oh, actually, I've looked at it and I think, you don't have to, but do the work on your own. Nothing is set in stone. Shift your mindset and you're sailing off into the sunset, feeling a lot better about these 3 specific situations that I felt in these cards. Something that you're trying to draw in, what's happening with your relationship, and indeed a sorrow in all kinds of forms that you've been dealing with. Thank you, pile number 1. This has been your reading. I hope it resonated. I'd love a thumbs up, a like, or even a comment if it's resonated with you. Thanks so much. Bye. Hi, pile number 2. You chose the Signs card from Spirit with Love and this beautiful blue Sodalite crystal. So let's see what the cards hold for you. We're going to start with our tea leaves. See where we're drawn to. We're going to go 1. He really wants to come. 2. 3. I see a little green one hiding in here. 4. That's it. Okay. Maybe a little shuffle, see how many would like to come. Oh, hello. Okay. Who am I to question? Oh, God, you want to stick. All right. There we go. Do I want another one? Perfect. we go. And oh, this was the one caught my eye as I began to shuffle. Okay, let's see what our cards hold for us. Love. Woman, dealings or relationship with a woman. Diamond, you'll be receiving or giving a precious gift. Ooh. And dog, protection from a powerful friend. Interesting, this card came out in the last pile. And these are our Work Your Light oracles. So did that one. Interesting. Transformation. Victory and success. Trapped in fear. Triumph. Interesting that we got victory and success and triumph. And balance. Okay, this feels significant because this card fell out face up. So I think this is a real significator card. So we're going to place that over on this side. So let's feel into what these cards are saying to us. I definitely feel like for some of you, for many of you actually, I think probably for nearly all of you, there is love came up. This can be romantic love or just somebody who is extremely, extremely important to us. So love, like that deep connection that we call love. You know, it's probably unlikely to be related to, you know, a co-worker on the next bank of desks. Let's say this is going to be somebody important. And I feel like dealings or relationship with a woman, I actually think very strongly that there is somebody meddling in this relationship. Very much what it feels like to me, that we have got a woman, a female, who is in some way influencing for the negative a relationship with somebody extremely important to you. For many of you, it's the romantic connection. But for some of you, I feel like it's a deep either family or platonic relationship too. So, you know, feel into your life and where that resonates. You know, you may not be in a relationship with somebody. And so what relationship is it that this is referring to you to for you? Because I'm feeling it very clearly. I do feel like the woman involved is related to either you or the other person. This person is... I thought I felt a family connection. I'm not actually sure it is a family connection. It's a close connection. The person that is meddling is very close to either you or the other person. So again, it's not just some randomer who's meddling, throwing in opinions. This person is really, really close to one of you. And it's altering and almost feels like it may begin to jeopardize the relationship. So let's park that. Let's see what the cards, when we move through the rest of the cards, let's see what's coming out for us here. You'll be receiving or giving a precious gift. And interestingly, what also came out was a time to give rather than to take. And I'm drawn to this relationship that I talked about here. It feels like you've been the person in the relationship who very much has taken the support from the other person. That you have needed, and that's fine, it's okay, we all need support and help sometimes, that you have needed to draw on them a lot. situations, circumstances, emotions, whatever it is, you have been drawing on them. And I'm not even sure you've realized that. But this person has. This person is interfering because I think they are concerned for the welfare. I know they are concerned for the welfare of that other person. Have you maybe been drawing a little bit and not necessarily, because you're dealing with your own stuff, or you have been, not necessarily given the same support back? This shifts, relationships ebb and flow as we move through our lives and we experience different things. The relationships, all our relationships ebb and flow. Sometimes we're supporting, sometimes we're being supportive. Often it's going in both directions at the same time. You've moved through a difficult period. The person that this is referring to, this person who's very dear to you, has given a lot, helped a lot, supported you a lot, and you've needed it and you've been grateful for it, and they were willing to give it. But is it time now for you to take a step back? Oh God, look at the bigger picture. It's time to take action. Is it time for you now? And again, I've just spotted, I know I read it already, but I missed it, this protection from a powerful friend. Is it the opposite person in this relationship that is being, this friend feels like they're protecting them? Balance. Balance is what came out first. That was our significator card. Maybe just whatever relationship you feel like this is referring to, is it time to step back and have a look at the balance? And I've just been reminded, I've just been reminded and heard it very clearly. It could be the other way around. It could be that you've been given to your partner loads and loads and loads, and somebody in your life is saying, you're carrying, or whatever it is, you're carrying this person, you're doing so much, what are you getting back? So on and so forth, and your friend is trying to protect you. So just remember, look at the bigger picture. There's two aspects to this balance. There's two sides to the scale. Which side is it you're on? So sorry if I've been talking a lot from the other's perspective and you're like, oh, hang on. I was just reminded very clearly, I heard it very clearly, to look at it from the other perspective too. Look at the bigger picture, time to take action. So if you feel like you're being drawn upon and there's someone close to you saying, listen, you're not getting anything from this, you're doing all the giving, you're getting nothing back, so on and so forth. Look at the bigger picture and it's time to take action. So if you've been the one who's taken all the support, and it's time to reevaluate that and think about how you're going to look at it. Although I've just been reminded why I said maybe you were taking, because it says a time to give rather than take. So for most of you, actually, I think you're probably the one who has been taking a lot because you needed it. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what relationships are for, to support us. But just remember, it needs to go back the other way. Yeah, we want to be we need good giving. We need giving and taking. And one person can carry the other person all of the time. They become fatigued, they become jaded, and things can begin to break down. I'm not necessarily saying that here. I'm saying that you will look at the bigger picture and conclusions are within reach. And of course, I forgot, victory and success and triumph. Sure, for God's sake. This came up in the last reading, and in that reading, it feels very much the same as in this, even though when I see these cards, these particular cards, I see so many different things in the imagery. This came up in the last reading, and I very much feel like in the last reading, it was coming up in the very same way it's coming up here. Pick up your sword, let go of, you may feel like you've become a bit of a victim in a situation, or indeed a slightly, I can't think of the word, there's definitely a better word, but I'm just going to say what's in my head. You feel like you've been the slightly weaker person in this relationship, in this situation. No, look at the bigger picture. Shift your perspective. Again, the message from pile number 1, if you were drawn there too, and you were torn between the two, you might want to listen to that one as well. The message was very much about shift your perspective. So here we are. Zoom out, look at the bigger picture and shift your perspective, okay? You've maybe got caught on a bit of a treadmill, hamster wheel of, well, this is my role and this is how I feel and this is it. And you're just going and going and going. Stop. Take action. Look at the bigger picture. pick up your sword and cut the cords. Again, I said this in the last reading. Pick up your sword and cut those cords and just start to look at this from a whole perspective. This person that I've just been drawn, my eyes drawn straight back to her. When I said she could be negatively influenced in the relationship, I do think her actions or her meddling is coming from a place of deep affection for the other person here. That it's not necessarily about you. It's not trying to, it's not about you. It's about them. It's pure affection for them. It can see maybe the toll that the dynamic has recently been taken on them, and it's all about them, and there's nothing personal against you in it. So don't be, if you're feeling any kind of negative, if you know of this person, and I think you probably have an inkling that there's been conversations had, try not to look at this person negatively, okay? Look at the bigger picture. Just try and understand where they were coming from. I don't think it was personal to you. I don't think they're like, this person's no good, get rid. No, I think it was more out of genuine concern for the person in the other half of this relationship. Play and have fun. Actually, this has all felt quite heavy, and we've been rounded here to play. Ooh, look at the champagne glass. A wee glass of Prosecco if you're into it. Oh, and I've just been drawn to the rug. There's a rug here. And I immediately heard in my ears, magic carpet ride. So just remember the wonder of life. Okay, things have been a bit stagnant. You've been through a tough time. Somebody's really supported you through it. I've already said, zoom out, look at the bigger picture, take action. Make things light again. Shift your perspective, shift your mindset. Very similar messages to group number one, pile number one. It's within your gift. Find the fun. Find some fun. Find a way to have fun. I had the image of Jasmine and Aladdin on the magic carpet, kind of singing a whole new world, a whole new world. That's what I wanted to come out with. So transformation, victory and success and triumph. Do not allow yourself to be trapped in fear. Okay, that what you've just come through, and actually you're afraid of the demise of this relationship, I think. And that's making you afraid. Okay. Transformation, victory, sex, triumph. Give rather than take. Time to take action. Conclusions are within reach. There's a very positive outcome here. There's a very positive outcome here. If you just take a step back now and find more balance. Okay. Find the fun and light side of you again. Try and shift your mindset, this difficult time that you've been through. Okay, but what were the blessings in it? Okay, there's always something. As dark as some experiences can be, there's usually one blessing we can find that's come in it. So find it and focus on it and move on. Bring balance back into your life. Let the joy, the play, you can transform your world here. Transformation. Yeah, you can transform your world, a whole new world. You can transform it. And it's there for the taking. Success can be yours. But I think it's really important to start with this dynamic in this relationship. This friend who's trying to protect the other person in this relationship is coming from a good place for them. It's nothing personal against you. So don't focus on this. Do not focus on this. Because again, remember, if this person has been supporting you a lot, maybe they've needed to lean on somebody else for support too. Okay. They've been trying to be a battery for you, trying to help you through, trying to help you along. And maybe they've needed a bit of support too. Okay. This has been your reading, pile number 2. You've had some challenging times. There's a little bit of, not uncertainty, but there's a little bit of, we'll say, uncertainty in this relationship. For many of you, it's a romantic relationship. For some of you, it's a deep friendship. But I definitely think it can all be overcome. But actually, it's the power is in you. You're powerful in this situation. The power lies only with you. Actually, only with you. You can shift, you can find the balance, move back to play, lightheartedness. What support do they need? How can you support them now? They've just helped you through a terrible time. Let this friend go that's been supporting them. If you're feeling animosity, do not hold a grudge here. It will further detriment this relationship. This person has been a help and has enabled your partner or whoever it is we've been referring to support you. So let it go. If you've been feeling a little bit flip it round and feel grateful to this person who has been able to support your loved one while they've been supporting you. But you can take that mantle back now. Balance. Okay? This person's feeling a little bit jaded, a little bit tired, but the power is with you. Warrior, the power is with you. And success, triumph, it's all there for the taking. Hear the messages here today. Hear the messages of the card and just start to move forward. Take those little steps that will help shift your mindset, shift your energy, shift your perspective. Mostly moving towards play, lighthearted stuff. Do something that lights you up. Do something that you find fun. If you can do it with that person, even better. But if you need to do it separately, just to kind of shift your energy, get out and move your body. I just kind of saw walking, swimming, whatever it is, just get out and move your body and shift some of this stagnated energy that's keeping you in this dynamic. Okay, this relationship deserves to be much more balanced, and I think it's a beautiful relationship that has been and will be so healthy. Just take the action. Take the messages here today. Thank you so much, pile number 2. This has been your reading. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss a reading, and I'd be really grateful if it resonated for a comment. Love to hear. Thank you. Bye. Hi, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. You picked the orange card with connection and attunement and our beautiful purple amethyst crystal. So let's get picking your cards. We'll start with tea leaves. Very feeling that one. I think he wanted to come. Oh, and so did he. Or she. Oh, got 2 there. I wanted 1, so obviously you needed the 5th. We'll take our Work Your Light Oracle. See what that has for us. Okay. 1, 2. Very simple. Just felt like pulling them from the top. Oh, I don't want to put them there like that yet, actually. Let's pick from our Psychic Tarot deck. Is there a 5th that wants to come? No. These are Yasmin Boland's Moonology Oracle deck. Right, let's see what the cards have. We have Broken Wishbone, a wish will not be granted. Carriage, a journey, either physical or mental. Finger, warning you of a problem, either now or in the near future. October. And Money Path, a path with money is waiting for you to find it. Okay, let's see, where did they put it there? Okay, I have my thoughts on that, but we'll pull the other cards first. Okay, so surrender to the divine. I'm getting very definite feelings on what this is trying to tell us. The end of a tough cycle approaches. A new start is coming. It's all making sense already. New beginnings. Accelerated motion. hope, and temptation. Okay, immediately I can feel really clearly where this is going. So a wish will not be granted, a journey, either physical or mental. The wish not being granted, I could nearly sense the disappointment that many of you are going to feel when the first card that I've pulled is that. And because there's something that you have been really hoping for, that you're working to bring into your life, whatever it is, and that wish will not be granted is not what you want to hear. I almost got the feeling like, when your heart beats in your ears, when something, that you get that rushing sound in your ears when something you really don't want to hear or see happens. That's what I felt for you. Because you think what it is you're focusing on is really, really, really the direction that you want, or something that you want, or where you want to go. The wish will not be granted because it's not your path. It absolutely isn't. Warning you of a problem now or in the near future, the finger, a journey. These three are linked in as much as something's going to happen quite quickly that will make you realize whatever this is referring to, whatever way this is resonating for you, it's going to happen quite soon, I feel. That's going to completely throw you off the path that you thought you've been on. And a journey, either physical or mental, is relevant in that you're going to end up on a completely different path to the one that you thought you wanted. What I will tell you, what I feel so strongly, is that path is a more positive path for you. So, we look here, the end of a tough cycle approaches. This has been your tough cycle. You're in it, whether you realize it or not, because whatever it is you've been moving towards or wishing, or the path that you've been on that you think is your path and what you should be doing or where you should be going, it has felt tough because it's not the right path for you. That's why it feels tough. That's why it hasn't just flowed in. It hasn't been the right path. You think it has, you thought it has, and you're going to feel, when it happens, whatever it is that's going to happen, that's going to snatch that away, change your path, change your course, you're going to find that really, really difficult. Surrender it to the divine. Surrender it to the divine. Okay, and I say surrender. It's going to happen. And you're going to feel a certain way about it. You're going to have emotions without question. You're a human being. You're going to have emotions. But believe in the plan that the divine, the universe, source, God, whatever you choose to believe in, believe and surrender that what is happening because it's the right thing, because it's your path, that the divine won't lead you wrong. Don't resist. When I just saw when the wheels come off, whatever it is you think you've wanted, be it whether you have it and you've been trying to hold on to it or you're working towards it. It could be either situation. I just immediately got something that made me think of, there's a lot of you in a job and you thought this was the job that you really, really wanted. So you are clinging on to this job. It ain't the right job for you. And something's going to happen and things will shift. And you initially will feel really strong with it. But please have faith. Please have faith. This has been your tough cycle. Either trying to achieve this or trying to hold on to it. This has been your tough cycle. When that comes to a head, and it will, surrender, trust. Easier said than done. God mighty, do I know it's easier said than done. But it can be done. Again, it's a mindset thing. Mindset, I've talked about mindset in the last two readings as well. Very much a mindset thing. Choose to decide that you're going to see blessings in this situation and just surrender. Just let it go. Don't try to hold on to it. It's been your tough cycle. And the end of it approaches. And unbelievable. A new start is coming and new beginnings. Like pulled beside each other. When you let go, when you surrender the divine, the accelerated motion, when you surrender, things move quicker, things begin to flow in. When you don't, when you're holding on to things that aren't for you, or wishing you could go back in time to something that you thought you wanted or thought was the right thing for you, that just slows the process up because you're working at odds with the universe. Kind of surrender, just surrender, see where it takes you. A path is waiting for you to find it. This is what we're talking about. This says money path. money, I choose to see it as abundance. I'm not saying it won't be beneficial financially for you, yes, but abundance comes in so many other ways. Abundance in good relationships, in happiness, in health, and abundance is everything that's positive. Yeah. And that path awaits you. October is significant. Maybe you're listening to this as a timeless reading. Maybe you're listening to it in October or October. There's going to be a turning point for you. For some of you, it'll be this is going to happen. Whatever this is that shunts your path. For some of you, it's actually going to be really finding that path, because I feel like there'll be a period of confusion and a little bit of turmoil when this falls apart, when the wheels come off here. There'll be a gap between. I don't think you're going to go straight from one day, the life you thought you wanted, or the situation, whatever, not necessarily your whole life. This is more than likely just one aspect of your life. What you thought you wanted will fall away. You're not immediately the next day going to think, oh, actually, something better here because I found this. There's going to be a time in the middle. So this is either going to be when the wheels come off for some of you, and for some of you, this is going to be when you actually find that path. Your new start is coming, and the accelerated motion, like I said, will come when you come into the flow. Hope, please be hopeful. Surrender, hope, surrender to the divine, have hope. You'll, in all likelihood, forget this reading, but do try to remember it and have hope that everything is going to work out for the best, because hope is part of your mindset and everything is going to work out for you. Absolutely. But don't be fighting and battling and hanging on. And the two cards that I've pulled, again, I usually work with imagery in these, but I'm also seeing the words here. Both of these, this person is sitting, gazing off, and a similar card came out in one of the other readings, gazing off. It feels like they're watching things happening that don't relate to them. They're gazing off they're stuck here in this rocky place, not particularly comfortable, looking at everyone else's magic, because in the distance here there's all these twinkly stars, and I always see that as magic, and that's what you've been doing. Wherever you've been stuck, or whatever it is you've been trying to attract into your life, it's not really what you want. Really, if you drill down, if you really sit and listen to your inner voice, the whisperings of your soul, whatever you want to call it, that's what you've been watching everybody else achieve the life they want, or draw in the career or the family, whatever it is, what they want, and you feel like you're just watching it. And you've been clinging to this to make you feel in yourself, or make other people think even, oh no, she has exactly what I want, she's got a great life. But in reality, you've been looking at other people thinking they're manifesting all kinds of wonderful things in their life, and I'm here. But if we look at the words attached, share your voice, come out of the cave, and what lights you up. So again, this is all linked to this new path. That has been you, that is you right now. But what lights you up? Share the real you. So this you that's been looking at other people living the lives of their dreams, and I think you've been trying to pretend that you're also living a life that you really, really want to live. And again, this is not your whole life. This could just be an aspect. This could just be your job, okay? Or it could be, one aspect of your life. Please don't think that for everybody this reading is their whole life. It isn't. It's going to be an aspect of your life. But share your voice and what lights you up. So say what you really think. Even if it's only to yourself. Sharing your voice could just be sharing with yourself how you actually really feel that you've been denying about this situation. Do what lights you up, because it ain't this. It's not where you've been sitting. It's not. It's just not. It's not your path. It's not what lights you up. It's been your tough cycle. The temptation is going to be the temptation to stay with this, to not want to let go, to think, no, I'm happy here and this is what I want. Or when there's an event coming that will put you on the precipice to this new path, but the temptation is going to be to stay where you are because you think it's comfortable, but it isn't comfortable, and it has not been comfortable, and you've been telling yourself you're comfortable and it's what you want for a number of reasons, because you want to tell yourself that and you want to feel like it is. But there's a part of you, there's a pride there, and that you don't want other people to think that you haven't achieved what it is you want to achieve, or that you haven't been happy with this element of your life. There's a little part of your ego there that's like, I don't want other people to think that I've fallen into a rut, and I am in a rut. No, but I don't want other people to think that. I want them to think I'm living a great life. Again, remember, for many of you, this is just one aspect of your life. It's not your whole life. So, but yeah, it's an interesting one. Try to resist the temptation to stay, because otherwise I feel like you'll be trapped in this tough cycle. And all of these other cards are so positive. The surrender to the new start is coming, new beginnings, hope, accelerated motion, a path with money is waiting, a path with abundance is awaiting you. It's all there, but you got to come off your little rocky seat here. Your not very comfortable seat that you've been trying to convince yourself is comfortable. You got to come off it. And again, I've just been immediately drawn to these choppy waters. You know, the gap between these two might feel a little turbulent, might feel a little choppy, might feel a little bit, oh my God, what have I allowed to happen? Go with it. Surrender. Go with the flow. Amazing things are waiting for you. They really are. But stop convincing yourself. Stop convincing yourself that whatever this situation is for you is what you want. Because it isn't. And something's coming. There's a problem coming. And I think the universe is just going to show you that it isn't what you want. The decision may be taken out of your hands for many of you. But don't be tempted to cling to it, okay? In fact, I know for some of you, the decision is going to be taken out of your hands, that this situation, this element of your life is going to be changing without your consent, for want of a better way of putting that. It's going to be changing without your consent. Don't be tempted to cling. Do not be tempted to cling. Let it go, surrender, and amazing things are waiting for you. So, pile number 3, this has been your reading. I'd love to, if you feel called to subscribe, please do, to never miss a video. Or if you've enjoyed the reading, please like the video. And I'd love to hear in the comments if it resonated with you, or how. I know it did resonate with you, but how it resonated with you. So thank you so much for your time today. See you in the next video. Bye.